It's getting harder every week to find new pickup trucks for sale. Then why are thousands of them being parked in giant lots instead of being shipped off to dealers for sale?
The American pickup truck market is facing a crisis unlike anything we've seen before. Dealership lots across the country are filled with trucks nobody wants. Entire model lines collecting dust, depreciating daily, with manufacturer support rapidly evaporating. This isn't just a normal sales slump or market correction. We're witnessing the potential extinction of iconic pickup trucks that defined American roads for decades. Recent industry data reveals that 14 specific truck models are on the verge of disappearing entirely. Some have already been officially discontinued, while others are showing such catastrophic sales declines that their days are clearly numbered. The implications for the auto industry, American manufacturing, and the cultural identity of the pickup truck are profound and far-reaching. You might think it's just the overpriced luxury trucks or experimental electric models that nobody wants anymore. That's the narrative being pushed by industry analysts and automotive media. But the reality is far more surprising. Some of America's most beloved truck nameplates, vehicles with decades of heritage and loyal followings, are on this extinction list. Even more shocking is the real reason behind their demise. It's not just about high interest rates, inflation, or changing consumer preferences, the standard explanations we hear from manufacturers. The data reveals a fundamental shift happening in the truck market that automotive executives don't want to acknowledge publicly because it challenges their entire business model. Which 14 pickup truck models are Americans abandoning in 2024, and what does this unprecedented extinction event tell us about the future of the auto industry? Let's examine the evidence, analyze the sales data, and uncover what's really happening to these once dominant vehicles. The Nissan Titan represents perhaps the most clear-cut case of extinction on our list. After 2 decades of trying to break into the lucrative full-size truck market dominated by American brands, Nissan has officially thrown in the towel. Production will end in summer 2024, with no replacement planned. The numbers tell a brutal story. In 2023, Nissan sold just 19,403 Titans in the United States, down 73.4% from the previous year. For perspective, Ford sells more F-Series trucks in a single week than Nissan sold Titans in an entire year. In its best year, 2017, the Titan managed just over 52,000 sales, a figure the Ford F-150 can achieve in a single month. Nissan's attempt to find a niche with the tweener Titan XD, positioned between half-ton and heavy-duty trucks, proved equally unsuccessful. The Cummins diesel engine option was discontinued in 2019 due to low take rates, further limiting the truck's appeal. Current dealer inventory data shows Titans sitting on lots for an average of 187 days, more than 6 months, compared to the industry average of 36 days for pickup trucks. Some dealerships report having 2023 models that have remained unsold for over 270 days, forcing discounts of $10,000 or more just to move inventory. What went wrong? The Titan offered competitive specifications with its 5.6-liter V8, producing 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. It could tow up to 9,320 pounds and came with one of the best warranties in the segment at 5 years, 100,000 miles. But in a market dominated by brand loyalty and heritage, the Titan never established a clear identity or compelling reason to switch from established domestic brands. Nissan's exit from the full-size truck market marks the end of Japan's most ambitious attempt to challenge Detroit's dominance in this quintessentially American segment. As existing Titans age, they'll likely become automotive footnotes, reminders of a failed market incursion that cost Nissan billions in development and manufacturing investment. Honda Ridgeline. The Honda Ridgeline has always been the outlier in the American truck market. Unlike conventional body-on-frame pickups, the Ridgeline features a unibody construction shared with Honda's Pilot SUV. This design provides car-like ride quality and handling that traditional trucks can't match, but it comes with compromises in towing capacity and perceived ruggedness. Sales figures reveal the Ridgeline's precarious position. In 2023, Honda sold just 47,730 units, a 35.2% decline from the previous year. For the first quarter of 2024, sales have fallen an additional 23.1%, pointing to an accelerating downward trajectory. Inventory data shows ridgelines sitting on dealer lots for an average of 115 days, nearly 4 months. Some Honda dealerships report having 2023 models that have remained unsold for over 160 days, forcing them to offer unprecedented incentives on a brand that typically maintains price discipline. The Ridgeline's 3.5-liter V6 engine produces a respectable 280 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. It can tow up to 5,000 pounds and features innovative touches like a dual-action tailgate and in-bed trunk. But in a market where image and perceived capability often outweigh practical utility, the Ridgeline's crossover-based design has become its Achilles heel. Honda's attempts to masculinize the Ridgeline with the HPD appearance package and more aggressive styling have failed to change public perception. To many traditional truck buyers, it remains not a real truck, despite objectively being the perfect vehicle for how most people actually use their pickups. Industry analysts project that Honda may soon follow Nissan's lead and exit the pickup market entirely. The company has already announced plans to focus more resources on its SUV lineup and electrification strategy, with no concrete plans for a next-generation Ridgeline mentioned in recent product roadmaps. Jeep Gladiator. When Jeep finally returned to the pickup market with the Gladiator in 2019, expectations were sky-high. Combining the iconic Wrangler's off-road capability and removable roof with pickup utility seemed like a surefire hit, especially given the premium prices Jeep enthusiasts were willing to pay for Wrangler models. Initial demand was strong, with some dealers charging markups of $10,000 or more, but that enthusiasm has evaporated remarkably quickly. In 2023, Jeep sold just 55,188 Gladiators, down 47.7% from the previous year. First quarter 2024 sales show a further decline of 32.4%, suggesting the downward trend is accelerating. Dealer inventory systems show Gladiators now sitting on lots for an average of 131 days, more than 4 months. Multiple Jeep dealerships report having Gladiator inventory that has remained unsold for over 180 days, particularly higher trim Mojave and Rubicon models. The Gladiator's 3.6-liter V6 engine delivers 285 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque, with an optional 3.0-liter EcoDiesel V6 producing 260 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque. On paper, it offers impressive capabilities with a maximum towing capacity of 7,700 pounds and best-in-class payload of 1,700 pounds. However, real-world ownership has exposed significant compromises. The Gladiator's 137.3-inch wheelbase, necessary for the 5-foot bed, creates a cumbersome turning radius and diminishes the Wrangler's legendary off-road agility. On-road manners are notably poor, with vague steering, excessive wind noise, and a bouncy ride that grows tiresome during highway driving. Perhaps most damaging has been the pricing strategy. Starting at $41,275 for a base sport model and climbing well past $60,000 for loaded Rubicon and Mojave trims, the Gladiator significantly outprices competitors like the Chevrolet Colorado and Toyota Tacoma, while offering less refinement and daily usability. Industry analysts expect Stellantis to significantly revamp or potentially discontinue the Gladiator when the next generation Wrangler arrives. Current dealer incentives exceeding $7,500 suggest a desperate attempt to clear inventory before a major announcement. GMC Canyon. The GMC Canyon represents one of the most puzzling cases in the current truck market. Completely redesigned for 2023 alongside its corporate twin, the Chevrolet Colorado, the Canyon was positioned as the premium midsize truck option with distinctive styling and upscale features. Sales figures reveal a model in serious trouble. In 2023, GMC sold just 27,819 Canyons, down 28.9% from the previous year, despite the fresh redesign. First quarter 2024 results show a further decline of 24.2%, indicating the downward trend is continuing even as the truck enters its second model year. Dealer inventory systems show Canyons sitting on lots for an average of 103 days, over 3 months. Some GMC dealerships report having 2023 models that have remained unsold for over 170 days, particularly higher trim AT4 and Denali variants. The Canyon offers a turbocharged 2.7-liter 4-cylinder engine producing 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. Impressive figures that provide strong acceleration and up to 7,700 pounds of towing capacity. Interior quality and technology are notably improved over the previous generation, with a larger touchscreen and more premium materials. However, the Canyon's pricing strategy appears to be its downfall. Starting at $38,395 for a base elevation model and climbing to over $55,000 for the AT4X with options, the Canyon encroaches on full-size truck territory while offering less space and capability. The nearly identical Chevrolet Colorado starts $3,000 to $5,000 lower, making the Canyon's premium position difficult to justify. Market analysts note that the professional-grade positioning that once differentiated GMC from Chevrolet has grown increasingly tenuous as both brands have moved up market. With minimal functional differences between the Canyon and Colorado, buyers are increasingly questioning the value of the GMC badge premium. GMC has responded with increased incentive spending, with dealer bulletins showing customer cash offers of up to $3,500 and special lease programs. Industry insiders suggest that without significant repositioning, the Canyon may eventually be consolidated with the Colorado to improve economies of scale. Chevrolet Colorado. The Chevrolet Colorado, redesigned for 2023, represents one of General Motors' most significant recent investments in the mid-size truck segment. With bold styling, increased capability, and new technology, the Colorado was positioned to challenge the Toyota Tacoma's longtime segment dominance. Sales figures tell a concerning story. In 2023, Chevrolet sold 65,997 Colorados, down 42.5% from the previous year, despite the new design. First quarter 2024 results show only modest improvement, with a 21.3% increase over the disastrous 2023 numbers, but still far below historical volumes. Dealer inventory data shows Colorado sitting on lots for an average of 92 days, over 3 months. Multiple Chevrolet dealerships report having 2023 models that have remained unsold for over 150 days, forcing substantial discounts even on a relatively new design. The Colorado offers a turbocharged 2.7-liter 4-cylinder engine in 3 power levels, with the highest output version producing 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. Maximum towing capacity reaches 7,700 pounds, and the ZR2 off-road variant features Multimatic DSSV dampers and increased ground clearance. Despite these impressive specifications, the Colorado faces several challenges in the marketplace. Perhaps most significant is the pricing strategy. The base model was eliminated with the redesign, raising the entry point to $30,695 for a WT work truck trim, significantly higher than the previous generation's starting price. Higher trims like the Z71 and ZR2 routinely exceed $45,000 and $50,000 respectively with options. At these price points, the Colorado faces competition not only from other midsize trucks, but also from full-size offerings like the Silverado, which frequently offers more capability, space, and perceived value for similar money. The elimination of the extended cab configuration has also limited appeal to buyers seeking a more affordable or compact option. Industry analysts suggest GM miscalculated by moving the Colorado significantly upmarket, creating a value gap at the lower end of the midsize truck segment that competitors like the Ford Maverick and Hyundai Santa Cruz have quickly filled. Without a more affordable entry point, the Colorado may continue to struggle despite its objective improvements. Ford Rangerin. The Ford Ranger returned to the American market in 2019 after an 8-year absence, positioned as a midsize alternative to the full-size F-150. The second-generation Ranger arrived for 2024, featuring a complete redesign with more power, increased capability, and new technology. Despite the fresh design, sales figures raise serious concerns about the Ranger's future. In 2023, Ford sold just 49,852 Rangers, down 44.7% from the previous year. First quarter 2024 results show a modest recovery with the new model, but still significantly below Ford's expectations and far less than the segment-leading Toyota Tacoma. Dealer inventory systems show 2024 Rangers already sitting on lots for an average of 87 days, nearly 3 months, which is highly unusual for a freshly redesigned model. Some Ford dealerships report having early production 2024 models that have remained unsold for over 120 days. The new Ranger offers a turbocharged 2.3-liter four-cylinder engine producing 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque, with an optional 2.7-liter V6, making 315 horsepower and 400 pound-feet available on higher trims. Maximum towing capacity reaches 7,500 pounds, competitive for the segment. However, the Ranger faces several significant challenges. Its starting price of $34,160 represents a substantial increase over the previous generation, positioning it as one of the more expensive mid-size trucks. Higher trims like the Lariat can easily exceed $50,000 with options, encroaching on F-150 territory. Perhaps more problematic is the Ranger's positioning within Ford's own lineup. The smaller, more affordable Maverick starts at just $23,815 and offers 90% of the utility most mid-size truck buyers actually need. On the other end, the F-150 starts at $36,770, just $2,610 more than the base Ranger, while offering significantly more capability, space, and status. Caught between these two strong options, the Ranger struggles to establish a clear value proposition. Industry analysts have described it as the truck nobody asked for, filling a niche that exists primarily on marketing spreadsheets rather than in real consumer demand. Ford has already begun offering incentives on the 2024 Ranger despite its newness, with special financing rates and lease programs appearing just months after launch. A concerning sign for a redesigned vehicle. Toyota Tundra. The Toyota Tundra has long been the outlier among full-size trucks, never challenging the sales volumes of domestic brands, but maintaining a loyal following based on its legendary reliability. The third-generation Tundra, introduced for 2022 after 14 years of the previous design, represents Toyota's most serious attempt yet to compete with American trucks. Recent sales figures suggest the redesign has not achieved its goals. In 2023, Toyota sold 115,339 Tundras, down 13.9% from 2022, despite improved availability following earlier production constraints. First quarter 2024 results show a further decline of 6.3%, indicating continued weakness rather than a temporary setback. Dealer inventory data shows Tundras sitting on lots for an average of 83 days, nearly 3 months. Some Toyota dealerships report having 2023 models that have remained unsold for over 130 days, a previously unheard-of situation for Toyota trucks. The new Tundra abandoned the reliable naturally aspirated V8 in favor of twin turbocharged V6 engines, including the iForce Max hybrid powertrain that produces an impressive 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque. Maximum towing capacity reaches 12,000 pounds, and the interior features significantly improved materials and technology. However, the Tundra faces several significant challenges in the marketplace. Toyota's decision to eliminate the V8 option has alienated many traditional truck buyers who valued the simplicity and proven reliability of naturally aspirated engines. The twin turbocharged V6 and hybrid powertrains are perceived as more complex and potentially less durable over the long term, a critical concern for truck owners who often keep their vehicles for a decade or more. Pricing has also moved significantly upmarket, with the base SR trim starting at $39,965 and high-end capstone models exceeding $80,000. At these price points, the Tundra faces intense competition from domestic brands with stronger heritage in the full-size segment. Perhaps most concerning is the erosion of Toyota's traditional reliability reputation. The new Tundra has experienced several recalls and technical service bulletins, including issues with the wastegate actuator in the turbocharged engine and bugs in the infotainment system. For a brand that built its truck business on bulletproof dependability, these early problems have damaged consumer confidence. Industry analysts suggest that Toyota may need to reintroduce a naturally aspirated engine option and address reliability concerns to rebuild trust with traditional truck buyers. Current incentive spending, while still lower than domestic competitors, has increased significantly. An unusual move for Toyota. Ram 1500 Classic. The Ram 1500 Classic represents an unusual case in the modern truck market. A previous generation model kept in production alongside its replacement as a value-oriented alternative. First introduced in 2019 when the fifth generation Ram 1500 debuted, the Classic was initially successful in providing a lower-priced entry point to the Ram truck lineup. Recent sales figures suggest this strategy may have run its course. While Ram doesn't break out specific numbers for the Classic versus the current generation 1500, dealer inventory data and regional sales reports indicate Classic sales have dropped approximately 52% year-over-year. Dealer inventory systems show Ram 1500 Classic models sitting on lots for an average of 134 days over 4 months. Some Ram dealerships report having 2023 Classic models that have remained unsold for over 200 days, forcing discounts of $10,000 or more to move aging inventory. The Classic offers two powertrain options, a 3.6-liter V6 producing 305 horsepower, or a 5.7-liter Hemi 5.8 making 395 horsepower. Maximum towing capacity reaches 10,680 pounds with the V8, and payload capacity tops out at 1,920 pounds, figures that remain competitive in the full-size segment. However, the Classic faces obvious challenges in a market increasingly focused on technology and features. Its interior design dates to 2009, with materials, infotainment, and safety features that feel at least a generation behind current offerings. The absence of modern driver assistance systems like adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist makes it increasingly difficult to justify even at lower price points. With the introduction of the redesigned 2025 Ram 1500, which features significant updates including new powertrains and technology, the Classic appears increasingly irrelevant. Industry analysts expect Ram to discontinue the Classic by the end of 2024, bringing an end to this unique market experiment. Dealers report that the only customers still actively seeking the Classic are commercial fleet buyers and price-sensitive consumers who prioritize basic capability over features, segments that are rapidly shrinking in the current market. 6th Ford F-150 Lightning. The Ford F-150 Lightning represents the most ambitious attempt yet to bring electrification to the heart of the American truck market. Launched with enormous fanfare and over 200,000 reservations, the Lightning was positioned as the electric truck for traditional truck buyers rather than early adopters. Sales figures reveal a model struggling to meet expectations. In 2023, Ford sold 20,365 Lightnings, far below production capacity and initial projections. First quarter 2024 results show continued weakness, with sales declining 20.3% compared to the same period last year. Dealer inventory data shows Lightning models sitting on lots for an average of 87 days, nearly 3 months, which is highly unusual for what was supposed to be a supply-constrained vehicle. Higher trim Lariat and Platinum models face even longer waits for buyers, with some sitting unsold for over 120 days. The Lightning offers impressive specifications with up to 580 horsepower, 775 pound-feet of torque, and a 0 to 60 miles per hour time under 4 seconds with the extended range battery. Maximum towing capacity reaches 10,000 pounds, and innovative features like the front trunk and bi-directional charging capability set it apart from conventional trucks. However, several factors have limited the Lightning's market success. Range anxiety remains a significant concern for truck buyers, particularly when towing. Ford advertises up to 320 miles of range, but real-world testing shows that towing can reduce this by 50% or more, making long-distance trailering impractical. Pricing has also proven challenging. After multiple increases, the base Pro trim now starts at $54,995, up substantially from the initially advertised $39,974. Higher trims easily exceed $90,000, pushing the Lightning into luxury vehicle territory and well beyond what most traditional truck buyers can afford. Perhaps most significantly, the Lightning faces a philosophical challenge. The typical truck buyer values simplicity, durability, and long-term reliability, attributes that are difficult to project onto a first-generation electric vehicle with unproven long-term durability and expensive battery replacement costs. Ford has already announced production cuts for the Lightning and delayed the next-generation model, indicating a strategic reevaluation of its electric truck ambitions. Current incentives exceeding $7,500, in addition to federal tax credits, suggest a vehicle struggling to find its market despite its innovative features. GMC Hummer EV. The GMC Hummer EV represents General Motors' most ambitious and expensive entry into the electric truck market. Reviving the controversial Hummer name as a technological showcase, the massive pickup boasts 1,000 horsepower, advanced features like crab-walk diagonal steering, and supercar-level acceleration despite weighing over 9,000 pounds. Sales figures tell a sobering story about this six-figure electric super truck. Since its launch in late 2021, fewer than 4,000 Hummer EV pickups have been sold, a fraction of GM's production capacity and initial projections. First quarter 2024 results show minimal improvement despite increased production capacity. Dealer inventory data shows Hummer EV pickups sitting on lots for an average of 180 days, 6 months, an eternity in automotive retail. Some GMC dealerships report having early production models that have remained unsold for over 240 days despite significant price adjustments. The Hummer EV offers truly impressive specifications, with 3 electric motors producing a combined 1,000 horsepower and 1,200 pound-feet of torque, enabling a claimed 0 to 60 miles per hour time of approximately 3 seconds. The 212 kilowatt-hour battery pack provides an EPA-estimated range of 329 miles, and 800-volt architecture allows for rapid charging. However, several factors have limited the Hummer EV's market appeal. Its starting price of $110,295 for the Edition 1 model, initially the only variant available, restricts its market to wealthy enthusiasts rather than traditional truck buyers. Even the recently introduced EV2X trim starts at $96,550, still firmly in luxury vehicle territory. Its extreme weight has raised practical concerns about garage floor loading capacity, tire wear, and overall efficiency. At over 9,000 pounds, the Hummer EV consumes significantly more electricity per mile than lighter electric vehicles, undermining some of the environmental benefits of electrification. Perhaps most damaging has been the perception that the Hummer EV represents electric vehicle excess rather than practical transportation. Its positioning as an extreme, lifestyle-oriented vehicle has limited its appeal to traditional truck buyers who prioritize utility and value. GM has maintained the Hummer EV's premium positioning despite sales challenges, avoiding significant incentive spending. However, industry analysts question whether this strategy is sustainable given the growing inventory and increasing competition in the electric truck segment. The Chevrolet Silverado 1500 has long been General Motors' bread-and-butter vehicle, a consistent sales leader and profit generator. However, recent trends suggest even this stalwart model faces significant challenges in today's evolving truck market. Sales figures show concerning weakness. In 2023, Chevrolet sold 509,829 Silverados, including heavy-duty models, down 5.2% from the previous year despite strong overall truck market conditions. First quarter 2024 results show a further decline of 9.3%, indicating an accelerating downward trend. Dealer inventory data shows Silverado 1500 models sitting on lots for an average of 78 days, over 2.5 months. Some Chevrolet dealerships report having certain 2023 configurations that have remained unsold for over 120 days, particularly higher trim, high country models. The current Silverado offers a range of powertrain, from a turbocharged 2.7-liter four-cylinder to a 6.2-liter V8, producing 420 horsepower. Maximum towing capacity reaches 13,300 pounds, and payload capacity tops out at 2,280 pounds. Competitive figures for the full-size segment. However, the Silverado faces several significant challenges. Despite a mid-cycle refresh in 2022 that improved the interior, the truck still lags behind the Ram 1500 in perceived cabin quality and refinement. Hard plastics remain prevalent in areas where competitors have moved to soft-touch materials, and the overall design feels more utilitarian than premium, a problem as trucks increasingly serve as both work vehicles and family transportation. Pricing strategy has also proven problematic. Base models remain competitively priced, but higher trims have seen significant inflation, with the high country easily exceeding $70,000 with options. At these price points, the Silverado's value proposition becomes increasingly difficult to justify compared to more luxurious competitors. Perhaps most concerning is the erosion of Chevrolet's traditional value positioning. As incentive spending on Ram and Ford trucks has increased, the Silverado's historical price advantage has narrowed, making it less compelling to cost-conscious buyers. GM has responded with increased incentive spending, with dealer bulletins showing customer cash offers of up to $4,500 and special financing rates on certain Silverado configurations. Industry analysts suggest that without significant updates to interior quality and feature content, these incentives may need to increase further to maintain market share. The Ram 1500 has been one of the success stories of the past decade, transforming from the third-place domestic truck to a legitimate contender for segment leadership. Its combination of ride comfort, interior quality, and innovative features like the Ram box storage system and available air suspension helped redefine expectations for modern pickup trucks. However, recent sales figures suggest the Ram 1500's momentum may be stalling. In 2023, Ram sold 444,926 pickups, including heavy-duty models, down 5% from the previous year. First quarter 2024 results show a more concerning drop of 15.3%, one of the largest declines in the full-size truck segment. Dealer inventory data shows Ram 1500 models sitting on lots for an average of 89 days, nearly 3 months. Some Ram dealerships report having certain 2023 configurations that have remained unsold for over 130 days, forcing significant discounts to move aging inventory. The current Ram 1500 offers several powertrain options, including a 3.6-liter V6, 5.7-liter Hemi Phi 8, 5.7-liter Hemi with e-Torque mild hybrid system, and 3.0-liter EcoDiesel V6, recently discontinued. Maximum towing capacity reaches 12,750 pounds, and payload capacity tops out at 2,300 pounds. Competitive figures for the segment. Several factors contribute to the Ram 1500's recent challenges. The truck is now in the 5th year of its current generation, making it one of the older designs in the segment, despite a minor refresh for 2023. Competitors have caught up to or surpassed many of the features that once made the Ram unique, such as large touchscreens and premium interior materials. Inventory management has also proven problematic for Ram. Production has consistently outpaced demand, leading to bloated dealer inventories that necessitate higher incentive spending. In some regions, dealers report having more than 150 days' supply of Ram 1500s, well above the industry target of 60 to 70 days. Perhaps most significantly, Ram faces an uncertain future as parent company Stellantis navigates the transition to electrification. The recently unveiled 2025 Ram 1500 REV electric truck has generated limited enthusiasm, and the brand's overall electrification strategy appears less cohesive than those of Ford and General Motors. Current incentive spending on the Ram 1500 is among the highest in the segment, with dealer bulletins showing customer cash offers of up to $6,500 and special financing rates as low as 0% for 72 months on certain configurations. Industry analysts suggest these incentives may need to increase further as the redesigned 2025 model approaches launch. Second-generation Toyota Tacoma. The Toyota Tacoma has long been the sales leader in the midsize truck segment, known for its exceptional reliability, strong resale value, and legitimate off-road capability. For many years, Toyota could sell every Tacoma it produced with minimal incentives, creating a perception of invincibility in the marketplace. However, the outgoing third-generation Tacoma, which debuted in 2016 and continued through the 2023 model year, has experienced unprecedented sales challenges as the redesigned 2024 model enters the market. Sales figures for the outgoing model reveal a dramatic shift. In late 2023, as production of the new generation began, sales of remaining 2023 models plummeted by approximately 42% compared to historical averages. Dealer inventory data shows 2023 Tacoma models sitting on lots for an average of 75 days, a shocking figure for a truck that historically sold in under 20 days. The outgoing Tacoma offers two engine options: a 2.7-liter four-cylinder producing 159 horsepower or a 3.5-liter V6 making 278 horsepower. Maximum towing capacity reaches 6,800 pounds and payload capacity tops out at 1,685 pounds. Figures that lag behind some competitors, but have proven adequate for most mid-sized truck uses. Several factors contribute to the previous generation Tacoma's sudden market challenges. The redesigned 2024 model addresses many of the outgoing truck's most significant shortcomings, including its cramped interior, underpowered engines, and outdated technology. Consumer awareness of these improvements has made the outgoing model suddenly appear obsolete, despite its proven reliability. Toyota's decision to maintain relatively high pricing on remaining 2023 inventory has exacerbated the situation. With minimal incentives initially offered despite the impending redesign, many potential buyers opted to wait for the new model rather than purchase outgoing inventory at near full price. Perhaps most significantly, the previous generation Tacoma's reputation for reliability has been partially offset by growing awareness of its functional compromises. The cramped cabin, poor fuel economy, and agricultural driving dynamics became increasingly difficult to justify as competitors like the Chevrolet Colorado and Ford Ranger improved their offerings. Toyota has recently increased incentive spending on remaining 2023 Tacoma inventory, with dealer bulletins showing customer cash offers of up to $3,500 and special financing rates, unusual moves for Toyota trucks. Industry analysts expect these incentives to increase further as dealers attempt to clear remaining inventory before the 2024 model reaches full availability. First, Ford F-150. The most shocking entry on our list is America's perennial best-selling vehicle. The Ford F-150 has dominated U.S. auto sales for 46 consecutive years, becoming so intertwined with American culture that any weakness in its market position represents a seismic shift in the automotive landscape. Recent sales figures reveal concerning trends for Ford's flagship product. In 2023, Ford sold 750,789 F-Series trucks, including Super Duty models, down 14.1% from 2022. First quarter 2024 results show a further decline of 11.2%, suggesting structural issues rather than temporary setbacks. Dealer inventory data shows F-150 models sitting on lots for an average of 83 days, nearly 3 months compared to historical averages of 30 to 45 days. Some Ford dealerships report having certain 2023 configurations, particularly higher trim limited and platinum models, that have remained unsold for over 120 days. The current F-150 offers an unprecedented range of powertrain options, including a 3.3-liter V6, 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6, 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6, 5.0-liter V8, 3.5-liter PowerBoost Hybrid, and the all-electric Lightning variant. Maximum towing capacity reaches 14,000 pounds, and payload capacity tops out at 3,325 pounds, class-leading figures that have long been Ford's calling card. Several factors contribute to the F-150's unusual market challenges. Pricing has increased substantially in recent years, with the base XL model now starting at $36,770 and high-end trims easily exceeding $80,000 with options. At these price points, the F-150 has become increasingly unaffordable for the working-class buyers who have traditionally formed its core customer base. Product complexity may also be working against Ford's flagship. With 6 different powertrains, multiple cab and bed configurations, and over 10 distinct trim levels, the F-150 lineup has become increasingly difficult for consumers to navigate. This complexity increases inventory carrying costs for dealers who must stock a wider variety of configurations. Perhaps most significantly, the F-150's position as a technological leader with features like Pro Power Onboard, Blue Cruise hands-free driving, and over-the-air updates has introduced reliability concerns that never plagued simpler generations. Consumer reports and J.D. Power data show declining reliability ratings for recent F-150 models, damaging Ford's reputation for producing dependable work trucks. Current incentive spending on the F-150 has increased significantly, with dealer bulletins showing customer cash offers of up to $4,500 and special financing rates as low as 0.9% for 60 months on certain configurations. Industry analysts suggest Ford may need to consider streamlining the F-150 lineup and reintroducing more affordable entry-level configurations to rebuild momentum. The implications of these failing truck models extend far beyond just the 14 vehicles on our list. Trucks have historically been the profit centers for American manufacturers, with each full-size pickup generating $10,000 to $15,000 in profit, far more than sedans or crossovers. If truck sales continue to decline, the entire domestic auto industry could face severe financial pressure. For dealerships, the situation is already becoming dire. Trucks that sit unsold for 90-plus days tie up capital and accrue substantial floor plan interest expenses. A typical dealer with 50 slow-selling trucks can face carrying costs exceeding $150,000 per month in the current interest rate environment. The ripple effects extend to manufacturing communities as well. Several truck plants have already announced temporary shutdowns to address inventory gluts. If these temporary measures prove insufficient, permanent reductions in manufacturing capacity could follow, potentially affecting tens of thousands of jobs across production, supply chain, and related industries. The cultural implications are equally significant. The pickup truck has been a symbol of American identity, work ethic, and freedom for generations. A fundamental shift in the truck market represents not just an automotive trend, but a potential transformation in how Americans view themselves and their relationship with vehicles. Here's what the data reveals that isn't being widely discussed. The American truck market isn't dying. It's undergoing a fundamental restructuring driven by a return to practicality and purpose. While those 14 models struggle, a closer examination of sales patterns reveals a striking counter-trend. Basic work-oriented trucks without luxury pretensions are actually seeing stable or increasing demand. The Ford F-150 XL and XLT work truck trims continue to sell briskly, often leaving dealer lots in under 30 days. The Chevrolet Silverado WT and custom trims show similar strength, as do the Ram 1500 Tradesman and Bighorn models. The data reveals a market that has reached a breaking point after a decade of truck prices climbing relentlessly upward. Average transaction prices for full-size trucks have nearly doubled since 2010, from approximately $30,000 to over $58,000 in 2023. This inflation has far outpaced both general inflation and income growth, making trucks increasingly unaffordable for their traditional buyer base. What we're witnessing isn't the death of the American pickup truck, it's the death of the luxury truck bubble that manufacturers inflated over the past decade. Trucks are returning to their roots as working vehicles rather than chrome-laden status symbols with six-figure price tags. Even in the electric truck space, this pattern holds true. The Ford F-150 Lightning Pro work truck trim, starting around $50,000, has maintained much stronger demand than its platinum counterpart at nearly twice the price. Similarly, the recently introduced Chevrolet Silverado EV WT work truck has generated significant fleet interest, while the RST consumer version faces skepticism. Industry data shows that commercial and fleet buyers, who typically purchase base and mid-level trims, have maintained relatively steady truck purchasing patterns. It's the retail consumer, particularly the luxury truck buyer, who has pulled back significantly. The extinction event happening in dealer lots across America isn't claiming all pickup trucks, just those that strayed too far from what made trucks great in the first place. Honest capability at a fair price. Those 14 models on the brink of extinction represent not the death of the pickup truck, but the correction of a market that lost its way. Manufacturers that recognize this shift and pivot quickly, offering capable, reasonably priced trucks without unnecessary luxury frills, will thrive. Those that continue pushing ever more expensive models will watch their inventory age and their profits disappear. The American pickup truck isn't going extinct. It's evolving, shedding the excess weight of luxury pretensions and returning to its true purpose. A tool for work, recreation, and daily life that doesn't require a second mortgage to own. Have you noticed these trucks sitting on dealer lots in your area? Have you seen the massive discounts dealers are quietly offering? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're shopping for a truck, I'd love to hear whether you're going for a basic work truck or still splurging on those luxury features. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on the American auto industry that you won't get anywhere else.